I missed my own graduation to translate a mother's lullaby. 9 years later, that song stitched a country back together. Live on air. My name is Ivor Penn. I used to keep time with a tiny wooden clothespin clipped to my sleeve. A habit from speech club days, tap, tap, tap when the next line should breathe. On the morning I was supposed to wear a square hat and pretend it fit, my phone buzzed. Interpreter needed, maternity ward, urgent. Hospitals don't wait for gowns. I walked in past flowers that tried too hard. In a curtained bay, a baby lay with a heartbeat like a bird's. His mother, Safa Miray, held a blanket the color of tea leaves and sang a melody none of us could understand. She sang to keep him asleep. The nurse tried to hum along, missed the steps, and the baby startled. Tiny fists, big task. Do you know the language? I asked. Safa shook her head no to my tongue, then yes to the old one. She touched her throat. I touched my clothespin and felt the wood remember gravity. We found a table near a humming vending machine. I drew a line down a yellow tram ticket, the only paper I had, and we traded syllables one by one. She sang a phrase. I wrote the sounds. We bent them into simple words our nurses could carry without dropping them. The lullaby's first line meant, "Evening lamp, don't fall. My child is learning sky." The last line meant, "If your dream gets heavy, I will take a corner." I recorded her voice on my cracked phone, then my voice reading the sounds slow enough for sleep. When we finished, I clipped my clothespin to the chart at the foot of the crib. A small, ridiculous pledge. The tempo will be there when you reach for it. The ceremony bell on campus rang across town. I watched a video of my classmates tossing caps like birds who trusted air, and something in me broke the tiniest bit. I texted my father. Can't make it. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Returned as, "You had one job." I looked at the baby, at Safa tracing the ticket's edges with her thumb like the border of a map, and whispered to the room, "Then this is the job." People think translation is about words. It's about carrying, holding meaning at the corners so it doesn't tear. Safa learned our language by singing it. The cafeteria line, the bus stop, the clinic hallway, always the same 4-note lift in the middle, like a hand checking for yours in the dark. She started a small circle in a church basement and called it the evening lamps. Mothers and a few fathers arrived with strollers and thermoses. They rehearsed lullabies in 2 tongues, stitching vowels like seams. They were denied a park permit the first time. Someone wrote "Go home" on their poster the second time. They sang anyway. A teacher filmed them during a blackout. Candles, soft breath, a child asleep against a shoulder, and the video found its own road. I kept going back to the hospital on my lunch breaks from temp jobs. I built a tiny website where we could post phonetic bridges for 3 songs at a time. The grants did not love us. The comments said, "Stick to your lane." I switched apartments so often my plants learned to live out of boxes. On the nights I wanted to stop, I'd take the old clothespin from my desk and tap the edge of my sleeve. 1, 2, 3, and here's Safa's first line inside the wood. She kept a wallet with clear plastic sleeves. Inside one, the yellow tram ticket, now wrinkled and shiny where the oils of many days had made time visible. When her voice came back after surgery, she pressed 2 fingers to the ticket before every rehearsal, as if to say, "You held my corner. I'll hold yours." Years folded. The evening lamps grew into community choirs at schools and shelters and flood centers. They added hand motions so people who could not read could still learn the song by heart. They made a picture book with circles that lit up when you trace them, because electricity is a privilege and lullabies cannot be. Then the year that bruised the map arrived. Sirens, curfews, streets that forgot their own names, a river in places it never meant to be. A threadbare ceasefire appeared, held together by caution pins and tired hope. State TV announced a live vigil, not speeches, songs. Across the river, across the aisle, across the faith lines. 1 hour, 1 chance not to break the room. They needed a song people could sing in both languages. They called Safa. The producer said, "It has to be simple enough for a child and real enough for a soldier." Safa nodded, then went home and sat on the floor with a pencil stub and a kettle that never quite boiled. Her accompanist canceled the day before. The band's charts used the old words, and when she tried to start without the band, her voice couldn't find the little turn in the refrain. The part where the melody shows you how to take a breath together. She called me, whispering, "Ivor, I can't find it without the ticket." "Do you still have it?" I asked. A pause, like someone opening a drawer that remembers. "Yes. 9 years after the day I skipped a hat, I stood outside the TV studio with the clothespin in my pocket and the same feeling you get before a bridge that looks too thin. My name wasn't on any list. Security waved past people with badges and eyes like deadlines. I stayed by the side door, under the metal stairs that carried sound like a rumor. Inside, the lights cooled to blue. The host spoke, then stopped speaking. A camera's red eye blinked. The country held its breath. Through the glass, I could see Safa Miray, hair wrapped in a scarf dyed the color of evening, hands around a microphone as if it were a fragile promise. Her eyes moved the way eyes move when they are remembering a room from far away. She reached into her wallet and slid out the yellow tram ticket. The corners had rounded with time. She closed her eyes. My fingers found the clothespin. I tapped it 3 times on the railing, the way we had tapped the crib years ago. Wood on metal, a rhythm small enough to carry in your pocket. Safa's head turned. She didn't see me. She didn't need to. She lifted the ticket to the mic like a flag the size of a palm and sang, "Evening lamp, don't fall. My child is learning sky. If your dream gets heavy, give me a corner, we'll lift it." She sang the first line in the old tongue, the second in the new, and took people's hands from both sides to place them on the same syllable. A father in a uniform sang softly into his sleeve. A woman in a headscarf closed her eyes and found the harmony she had been saving for an apology. On a couch somewhere, a child drew circles on a picture book and watched them glow. In the flood shelters, a volunteer choir we had trained by accident began to echo. The camera cut to faces that forgot to be careful. On my side of the glass, I stood with my hand on cold rail and let the noise of a healing sound like not much, just breath, and the tiniest tremble of a room deciding to hold. When the broadcast ended, the applause didn't come. Something better did. Silence. The respectful kind that says, "We heard you." A stagehand opened the side door. He looked at my sleeve, at the clothespin, and said, "Are you the tempo?" I smiled. "Sometimes." Safa stepped into the hallway, thinner voice now that the job was done. Up close, 9 years had been honest to both of us. She didn't say thank you. She did something better. She clipped the clothespin to the yellow tram ticket and placed them on the studio's corkboard under a label that read, "For anyone who needs a corner." We didn't lecture the night. We let it breathe. Outside, the city tried practicing the refrain under its breath like a language it wanted to respect. Inside my chest, 3 small taps kept time, not counting down, not speeding up, just keeping the door open long enough for the next voice to make it through.